Spicy Italians, posh Brits, mystic Hindus, are these just ignorant stereotypes or hints of cultural truth? Today we explode myths and facts behind the planet's biggest stereotypes, from workaholic Japanese to macho Latino lovers. Why do these global generalizations persist? What created such typecasting from Canada to Korea? Punctual Germans, the stereotype of Germans rigorously adhering to order, rules and timeliness stems from cultural roots valuing discipline, which was amplified by the country's pioneers of engineering advancing technology globally. Germanic tribes like Goths, Vandals and more migrated across Europe organized in tight formations. Later, the volatile politics of Germanic states nurtured philosophical values of structure, obedience and nationalism. This fueled pioneering engineering innovation, from publishing to vehicles like BMW. Germany's role as the engine behind world-class order and industry became synonymous with cultural punctuality. While today's Germany is far more relaxed, the heritage of orderliness lingers. Anarchist Italians, Italy's colorful political history reinforces notions of being chaotic nonconformists. Rome left a legacy of culture, art and philosophy, but weak central rule by centuries of invading factions enabled strong regional identities to flourish. Eventual unification in the 19th century was met by suspicion, with corrupt governance fueling citizens embracing community over state. This defiance galvanized vocal resistance movements like Futurists. Mussolini evoked Roman order, but his violent rule only hardening anti-establishment mentalities. Such dissent powered organized crime networks like Sicilian mafias and political extremists like Red Brigade's terrorists. Yet 21st century Italy blends innovation and tradition richer than stereotypes suggest. Mystical Asians, global depictions of Asian heritage as ancient, magical and impenetrable date back centuries from European travelers awed by diverse complex cultures relative to Eurocentrism. Asian distinction as mystical fueled 19th century fads like chinoiserie, decorative arts and Orientalist painting, depicting fantastical imagery of geishas, dragons and opium around themes of exotic hedonism, violence and eroticism. Exoticization wedged harmful divisions between the rational West versus mysterious East. Post-WW2 growth in East Asia economics, technology and pop culture complicated assumptions, yet orientalizing generalizations persist. Reality is Asia inhabits futuristic innovation as much as timeless tradition. Patriotic Americans, patriotic fervor in the U.S. stems from pride in championing bold democratic ideals unlike cautious European models. America's founding from dissenting revolution and continued immigrant influx fuels dynamism. Pursuing controversial policies like individualism, religious freedom, anti-monarchism and restricted governance distinguished American liberty in citizens' minds. Figures like George Washington sacrificed for the vision. Unbridled optimism in ideologies made patriotic symbols like the flag reminders of hard-won freedoms to proudly defend. While patriotism empowers unity, it risks exceptionalist isolationism if not balanced with global cooperation. Neat and tidy Swiss, the legendary stereotype associating the Swiss with cleanliness and organization has roots tracing back to religious outsider status, forcing Switzerland to prove moral worth as Europe's security guards. Switzerland's powerful medieval guilds took in religious refugees like French Huguenots, German Mennonites, Italian Waldensians, spurring industry and welfare gains. Yet tightly knit Swiss towns viewed outsiders suspiciously. Pressure to demonstrate social cohesion, moral discipline and economic competence as Europe's center bred a culture cleanly upholding rules that was emulated continent-wide. Efficiency engineering marvels like luxury watches and the knife only amplified global regard for Swiss meticulous detail. Today innovation, neutrality and humanitarianism display the values of openness swelling beneath mountainous independence. Latina passion and jealousy, lazy assumptions reduce Latin American telenovela culture as merely romance-obsessed victims of macho men, yet rich realities reveal more complexity. While public intimacy seems loud by icy Nordic standards, emotive expression in Latin families offers shelter from external uncertainty. Machismo does oppress, yet women increasingly lead social justice. Assuming Latinas purely react to men overlooks women as breadwinners working hard for future generations with deep spiritual and intellectual lives. Locale too plays its part. Brazil's sensual samba contrasts Peru's antique soulfulness. Next time, appreciate Latina passion as a tapestry of heritage, not a typecast. Classy British etiquette. The notion of Britain as the world referee of manners has origins in English aristocrats codifying manner guidelines for nouveau riche merchants and the rising middle class. Wealthy Victorians distinguishing themselves via extreme decorum ate from 2 forks not one and introduced niche etiquette like garden party dress codes. Such exclusive protocols got mocked in British satire yet travelled worldwide as model British behaviour. England exported cultural cachet via novels, royal fascination and luxury exports like fine china. Britain struggles balancing such a privileged, colonial legacy with modern multicultural realities. Class-centric mannerisms now feel outmoded as the UK diversifies. Modern Britain champions substance over superficiality through groundbreaking creativity thriving amid past and future. Laid-back Australians practical jokers. Australia's legendary humour and informality stem from rebellious settlers thumbing their nose at British penal colony rigidity. Defiant Irish prisoners pioneered escaping in Australia's extreme wilderness. Facing volatile conditions, Aussie fighters became kings of improvisation from weapons to design inspiring cultural resourcefulness and contempt for incompetence. These fierce independents forged fun-loving larrikin characters behind Australia's colloquial candour and authority-mocking comedy traditions. A continent colonized without indigenous consent faces serious reconciliation work before the jokes subside. Yet the identity remains genuine, sunburnt country folk nudging visitors to chuckle at life's absurdities between epic adventures under the Southern Cross. Wise Chinese elders. The image of sagely Chinese seniors endowed with mystical insights traces to 15th century China fever ideals constructing ancestral fantasy after the Opium Wars eroded China's status. Mythic legends like Monkey King and pioneering inventions like gunpowder, silk and stir-fries amplified exoticism. Peaceful senior citizens practicing ancient arts like calligraphy, tai chi or drinking tea symbolize China's old soul, wisdom compared to the young West. Of course reality shows most modern Chinese youth chase new trends more than thousand-year-old scrolls these days. While some elders do specialize in Chinese medicine or Qigong sciences, today's China excels in futurology building megacities and leading tech more than romanticized myths. Respect endures for ancestors though globalism shifts tradition for an ambitious nation too. Happy drunks from Ireland. The trope of fun-loving Irish as barflies churning witty banter and whimsical lyrics originates sadly from British suppression leading whiskey to substitute for hopes lost. Britannia's harsh taxation on Irish farms caused dependence on simple crops like potatoes while limiting upward mobility. The Irish found joy where they could through community, lyrics, literature and liquor, bittersweet fuel against chronic ruling power apathy. English rulers used racism to justify oppression as moral correction against dirty, reckless Irish alcoholics too. Such dehumanization scarred psyche and culture though lyrics salved pain. Today's independent vibrant Ireland certainly enjoys good beer and laughter yet creates global software securing progress beyond past trauma. Innovation ushers new equality though accepting support remains work in progress. And there you have it, 10 giant stereotypes unpacked. As we have seen, images both reveal and conceal rich truths about a people. What distorted shortcuts did I miss analyzing? Share your thoughts in comments. Understanding identity stories provides cultural connective tissue to bridge humanity. May we unravel bias with wisdom as world citizens. Sub for more.